Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you, giving you game 1 in a series between Remind and EmalFan. EmalFan spawning as the blue human player on the bottom left hand side of the map. This is Secret Valley. Meanwhile, on the top right, we have Remind. Now, this is going to be a Night Elf versus human matchup here on Secret Valley. And Secret Valley is one of those maps where the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock locations are very easy to establish an expansion. I'm curious as to what type of game EmalFan is going to try and go for. Is he going to go for a slower, long game, knowing that economically he should be able to come out ahead and perhaps transition into siege engines? Meanwhile, I am curious as to what Remind is going to be responding with. Night Elf players, I often feel, have to respond to their opponent correctly and build the right units. There isn't a set strategy that Night Elf players can often do. They just need to build the right units, or they can go for Bears and Dryads with Ancient of Lores, which is a fairly strong default strategy that works fairly well. It does end up beating any sort of caster strategy that normally human players have, but it does tend to go into that late game, which a lot of humans do favor. We are going to be looking at a Demon Hunter up against an Archmage in this 1v1 as things do get settled down and underway. And I am looking at footmen being trained, more peasants still being trained as well. We're looking at 18/18 supply. Wait for this farm to see if we are going to be training up an additional peasant as well. And if it is, then it is a stronger indication that we are going to be trying to expand to this 9 o'clock location. Will he be able to hold on to it, or will Remind be playing the aggressor, building perhaps an Ancient Protector back over here, and then just eating his way through until he can start attacking? The Ancient Protectors, once they are rooted, still have fortified armor, making them very powerful and usually winning that tower war that is oh so common. Footmen and Water Elemental making their way out here, making their way off to the north. So kind of surprised that there isn't a strong push into this 533 location. That is normally what happens, and we may end up seeing no EmalFan going straight for the expansion, completely bypassing this 533 location. So a quick expansion underway. Perhaps we will be looking at Arcane Towers as well. A Wisp is looking to come in right there, and you can see this Water Elemental purposely already backing off, doesn't want to get detonated on, as the Archmage picks up a Mantle of Intelligence, loses 50 mana there, but he is going to be all right. As you see now, the Demon Hunter coming off into a bit of an engagement. There's a mana burn there. Demon Hunter getting in some easy shots off. Water Elemental getting in some damage. Oh, beautiful wall off there, but ends up taking down the Water Elemental for level 2. Remind at level 2 with those Claws of Attack +6, slicing down another peasant. And this is going to be a bit dangerous. Remind with a solo Demon Hunter already wreaking havoc, as the Archmage is unable to drop any Water Elementals. Now, follow-up play, you can take a look. 22/30 supply compared to 30/30. A slight food supply advantage, but trying to engage a Night Elf base when the buildings themselves are attacking you is extremely difficult. Archmage is going to drop a Water Elemental. Yes, does it in time. Only loses 7 mana. A fairly strong trade right there. Losing 7 mana, maybe 5 hit points at the cost of 50 mana from the Demon Hunter. Yes, the Demon Hunter does want to keep track of its mana, because it will be drinking from those Moonwells, and the Moonwells replenish not only hit points, but mana. It does cost mana from the Moonwells to replenish mana in the hero as well, so that's one of the reasons why the Demon Hunter may not opt to mana burn. Alright, Water Elementals should be, or at least one Water Elemental should be coming in right there. There you have Archmage already back up to 70 mana again. Footmen are going after peasants, and you can see a lot of units just simply wandering around here. Demon Hunter able to chase after this footman, but decides against it. Alright, a whole bunch of footmen going after all of these Wisp, and what's important is that by going after these Wisp and other units with medium armor, if they do use the Moonwells, they are going to be drained significantly. Water Elemental going to dissipate there. Meanwhile, Huntress is now joining up with the fight. You can see low hit point footmen going to be gathering some hit points there from that Fountain of Health in the corner, as the Archmage needs to figure out what his follow-up is going to be. Footman gonna get taken down. This Footman healing back up slowly but surely. Archmage wants to drop another water elemental. Has to be careful. The Demon Hunter is gonna be coming in from the south. The Archmage needs to run deeper inside that base, and no, EmalFan doesn't get the memo in time. If he ran off to the north, perhaps he would have been able to get away, drop the water elemental, and then bypass 50 damage and also have an additional unit. EmalFan looking a bit confused, losing his Archmage. And I don't know if that is strong play by Remind or a catastrophic mistake by EmalFan. Now, what is Remind looking to do here? Remind knows that he has a significant advantage rushing in. If he can take down this Footman, which he should be able to do fairly easily, he does have Boots of Speed, allowing him to catch up. That will give him level 3. I believe that is 2 additional points of damage. Also a little bit more armor, or no, not quite yet. But he should be able to get a little bit more armor momentarily. Meanwhile, the Huntresses are coming back down over here, are going to spot the Footman again, and there's going to be more engagement once more. All right, the Footmen, it looks like they're going to be able to run away. They do have a fair amount of hit points, as the Archmage should... Wow, the Archmage looks like it was resurrected a little bit late there. Archmage is still sitting at level 2, and the Demon Hunter, who's sitting at level 3, if it does in fact have level 2 mana burn, is going to melt any mana that the Archmage hopes to have. The big problem here is that riflemen are still a ways off. You can see that the long rifles are currently being researched. The blacksmith perhaps was spotted, and there is a lot of gold to be had by EmalFan. He might perhaps be going after a Mountain King or even a Paladin at this point to try to give a little bit more longevity to his current army. Archmage still though sitting at level 2, and you really need level 3 water elementals to really go anywhere. And we now see a transition to instead a Naga Witch. Alright, Naga Witch is a bit of a head scratcher for me, but I believe EmalFan realizes that he cannot win this fight if it does go long. So the best and strongest short-term hero is going to be this Naga Witch. However, you can see there is a Demon Hunter right here, not dropping the water elemental once more. And once again, that is going to be a very big issue. A second mana burn comes in, and EmalFan is just looking like a shell of his normal self, losing over 180 mana just because he wanted to take a stroll through the Night Elf base. Rifleman now looking to join in on the fight. If there was perhaps a water elemental there to soak up some damage, this would be a favorable fight to be in, but it is not going to be the case, as we now see some priests as well. Rifle caster, an interesting choice, as you see Huntress is now trying to get in front there. Meanwhile, there's a Breath of Fire mana burn onto the priest, but I believe there is no way that Remind is going to lose this game. It looks just so strong right now. Yes, as long as he doesn't over-engage here, as the Archmage is doing a little bit of damage onto that Demon Hunter. Panda could easily turn around Breath of Fire, get that Rifleman into the deep, deep red. As we're looking at EmalFan sitting on a 40/42 supply army. He's going up against 36/40, and the majority of that additional gold has been spent on tech. You can see that we are going into Tree of Eternity already. That Tree of Eternity will allow for perhaps some Druids of the Claw, an Orb of Venoms. Very, very strong items overall, as the Demon Hunter, currently sitting at level 3, might want to actually use a Staff of Teleportation to head back home. However, oh, what is this? EmalFan doing a great job here. He's going to be pushing over with all of his very, very strong units, and it looks as though, is that one Dryad going to get taken down? Yes, it will. Ancient of War could get taken down as well. We see Ivory Towers being brought over, and EmalFan really playing the short game. He is investing everything into this final push. Obviously, if Remind's able to hold this push, he should be able to come out ahead, as the tech advantage with bears is going to be that much stronger. Meanwhile, Breath of Fire does come across there. You can see that the Panda is only sitting at level 1, but that Breath of Fire did deal a fair bit of damage. Demon Hunter, importantly, has a potion of invulnerability. Panda may get off another Breath of Fire there, and there you have it. There goes one Footman already, a whole bunch of units, and now the Demon Hunter wastes no time getting into position, just goes after all of this. Breath of Fire, come on, go across. There you have it. Another peasant does get taken down, and damage is starting to add up very, very quickly. Panda down does 48 damage. Staff of Preservation saves him back over here. He gets to level 2. He's probably going to get Drunken Brawler now. There is a Drunken Haze, breath of fire across multiple units as the towers are now getting up. All right, poor Panda had the potion of healing but could not use it in time. And wow, EmalFan getting to level 3 off of that is going to be in a very, very interesting spot here. Anti-magic potion, making sure that he cannot get slowed. Bear now joining in on the fight. If that Panda was in play, then it would be a completely different ball game, or a completely different WarCraft game. However, instead, it is looking like it can still be anyone's game here. Demon Hunter, Mana Burns once more. Rifleman doing a great bit of damage here. Are we going to get a rejuvenation? Where's the rejuvenation? The Druid of the Claw just watching the Demon Hunter fall. And I believe that is going to be it. Nothing there. And Remind falling asleep at the wheel. And my prediction was completely wrong. I take it back. Remind all of a sudden just completely melted in the final 2 minutes of the game. Also, EmalFan, I'm catching a lucky break where Remind couldn't use the potion of healing in time, and then secondly couldn't get the rejuvenation off on his hero, on his Demon Hunter. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game number 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.